hosted by Mike, the Big Cheese.
Whoa.
Hello, it's Mike. How you doing?
I'm alright. Are you alright?
I'm doing pretty good. How you hanging in there? It's been a while.
Well, it has been a while. It's given the situation, I'm alright. Certainly mentally, but physically, I don't know. It's like I say, my mind's 18, but my body's fucked, probably.
I know, that's what happens. Hey, listen, I'm happy that there's more new re-releases by you. I mean, you've been going at it for the last couple of years now, re-releasing all the old albums, and it's been an amazing job you're doing on them. But now, I mean, you know, Hammer Horror. I mean, this is the album to me that it's an album that people know it's a Warfare record, but yet it was always something different or something more than all the other records, in my opinion.
Yeah. What I was trying to do at the time, given the time, I was trying to make every record just a slight twist where you got the concept of a conflict of hatred. There was it was touching on the kind of vampire-ish thing if you read into Order of the Dragons and the like. And I just used to love watching, and I still love watching the Hammer Horrors and the Amicus films. And I just thought it was a cracking idea for the next album at the time. And I made my way to Elstree without an appointment, blagging the doorman as I do, to ask for where the Hammer offices were. And as luck would have it, it was their 40th anniversary. So I explained I was in the main band and what I wanted to do, and everything just came into place. But he said that it had to go out on the Hammer label, so I had to leave Neat, which they were quite upset about, because I had a really good working relationship with Neat Records. A lot of people didn't, but I did. So it was a shame to leave, but you know, you've got to continue, and needs must, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, all the records from the beginning were all on the Neat label. I mean, you were like one of the first bands on that label, along with like Venom and Raven back in the day, you know, and a few other of the new wave of British heavy metal bands. So, I mean, when you go to do Hammer Horror, then was it a hard decision to make to say, hey, you know what, we're going to leave our label, start over? Because, you know, maybe it could have been better for you, it could have been worse. You had no idea what you were getting into with that label at the time.
No. I mean, they gave me the freedom to work in the studio because they had more money than me, obviously. And to put an album like that together, I did it at Fred Purser's studio, and I was up there on and off for nearly half a year to get all that put together. And we even wrote something, me and Fred wrote something together called Vlad the Impaler, which is a classical piece, and it was for a film that Hammer were actually going to make with the same title. And we wrote this piece because it was going to be the theme tune, but then the Americans wouldn't back it because British films then were about kaput, basically. So that never happened. But we actually composed a suite. We had 3 pieces of it, and it's never ever been out. But I've actually put it on the new CD, all 3 pieces of it. And that album is more heavy than what I actually thought it was when I re-listened and when I was in the studio when it was all getting remastered. It does kick ass in places, well and truly.
Yeah, I mean, when you go back on something from that long ago, I mean, I'm sure you've listened to it probably before you went to remaster it over the years, but when you go back and think of it then, I know you guys probably weren't happy with the production value at the time and how it came out and it was re-recorded and everything, but all these years later you say, wow, you know, we did something really, you know, really good over here. We just didn't really, you know it at the time.
Well, no. I mean, I knew it was good at the time, but the Warfare fans at the time didn't really warm to it because they were just wanting the faces shredded off as usual. And as an artist, I don't care what anybody says. You know, formulas are fine if you just want to continue, but then it's just as bad as conforming. I think if you just it makes you as a musician and a songwriter, it makes you just feel a little redundant because you think, oh, here we go, another album, fucking 3 chords, let's make a racket. And I've done that, and I just wanted to move on, so and I had a plan for the next one, but then that didn't materialise because I got bored, you know the story.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, like I said, it's available to buy now. I've changed all the sleeve. It's fantastic. I've put the handwritten letters in by Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. They wrote to me personally just for the album, which I was over the moon about at the time. And I took out the originals there on the album. It's got a 14-page booklet. It's got all the lyrics inside, and it's well worth a buy. Just to, if you don't, you just want to knock the lights off and crack a bit of alcohol and just just absorb yourself in the ambience, as it were.
Absolutely. Like you were just saying with this record, you felt like you didn't want to repeat yourself. You wanted to go in a different direction. You wanted to try something new, because that's what being a musician is all about. But even if you go back to Pure Filth, Metal Anarchy, Mayhem Fucking Mayhem, I mean, it's all Warfare, it's all you. It all has that distinctive sound which comes with you being the main songwriter in the band. But yet each album was different than the one before it. No album kind of repeated itself ever to me.
No album repeated itself.
No.
No, I don't think it did. I went for a sort of a different sound every time, really. I mean, I think Pure Filth and Metal Anarchy are similar in the approach, because some of the songs were written in the same session as and I think they're quite similar up to a point. But then Mayhem's completely different again. In Conflict, I think we were the first heavy metal band to put any brass or violins on stuff of that genre, of the real hard head down sort of stuff. They reckon Celtic Frost were, but they certainly weren't. I had that record recorded well before they did anything like that. And you got to think, when Pure Filth was recorded, thrash wasn't even a term. Malcolm Dawn made that up in late '84 thrash metal. So we certainly weren't following in the pattern of that sort of genre, even though you could be pigeonholed. Warfare were a very, very fast heads down band. But as well as the Hammer Horror one, good news for the fans. I've got it was going to be a double. It's now going to be a triple album.
Wow.
Which comes out in March, and the track listing is just for any collector or anybody who wants to get into the new stuff. And the guests I've got on it are unbelievable. And it's called The Songbook of Filth, and it's going to be out on Cherry Red Records, backed by Universal. Lavish sleeve. It's going to be all gatefold, full pull out. I've seen some of the sleeve up to now, and it's like Space Ritual by Hawkwind, the sleeve. Not in design, as in all the gear you get with it, So, but I've got the track list, and I've got Black, which is a new song. I Will Let the Show Go On, which features Mantis from back in the day. Burning on the King's Road, which is Radio 1. Cemetery Dirt, which features Tom from Sodom on bass and Fast Eddie Clarke from Motorhead on guitar. Got a brand new song that's never ever been heard before called Death by 1,000 Cuts. Different version of Murder on Melrose and Atomic Slut. And believe it or not, we've got Misanthropy with Pete Way and Fast Eddie Clarke playing along with me drumming and singing, which is the first time them guys have ever played commercially together. And ironically, it was the last bass Pete Way ever did, because obviously we didn't know he was going to die. God rest him. So we've got Thunderous Thunderbird on there through an Ampeg, courtesy of Pete, and Rip Roar and guitar with Fast Eddie Clarke, and good old me writing the full song and drumming and singing. So I'm very, very humbled, to say the least, about that one. We've got the original run-through of Addicted to Drugs. We changed it to Addicted to Love, and it never came out. But it's got the original lyrics that were banned, and it's actually in the rehearsal room. And what a fucking racket! Unbelievable! It's glorious. And then we've got Sick Boy on there, which is a GBH cover, which was an outtake of the Mayhem sessions. Death Charge, Solitaire Dementia, which features Wurzel on guitar. And then I've found some live stuff. We've got New Age of Total Warfare, Raven Metal, and Metal Anarchy, all live. From where at, I don't know. There's nothing marked on it, but it's awesome. It really is tight. Really impressed. And then it just continues. Ebony Dreams, Atomic Slut, Hungry Dogs, Rape, This Machine Kills, Baron Frankenstein. And then at the end of it, it's got Fight to Win from an old band of mine that I'm drumming on, called Major Accident. And then it's got The Blood on, and the Blood track is from the actual rehearsal studio. The song is called Did Regenerate, and no one's ever heard that before. We did a run-through for Gary Bushell, the journalist across in the UK, and it's very, very poor quality, but I've remastered it as best as I could, because I think it's vital for what I'm trying to do with it. And then I've got 2 Million Voices on by the Angelic Upstarts. That was recorded live in Exeter with me drumming on. And then you get the third bonus disc, which features a song called Misanthropy again, but it's not Pete Weir playing on it. It's Fast Eddie Clarke, and it's Paul Gray from The Damned, and it's got Nick Turner on from Auckland, and it's called Misanthropy, the Sonic Attack Mix. And then I blow through Noise, Filth and Fury, Military Shadow, which is a different version, and then a new song called Burnt Out, and that's the songbook of Phil. So it's got a bit of everything and all sorts on. Excuse me.
That sounds like an amazing package. I mean, there's a lot of, unreleased stuff, rarities, live stuff. I mean, things that people haven't heard before. When you talk about Addicted to Love, like how it was banned back then, I have to laugh because today people wouldn't even think twice about that. But back then, it was a big thing.
Oh, it was. I mean, there was four test pressings, and that was it. And then Robert Palmer's people came in and just said, no, you can't have that. But I wouldn't care. The original's all about drugs. It's Another Line and You'll Be Mine. I mean, come on, what's that supposed to be about?
Yeah.
And he actually died of a drugs overdose. So there you go. The man was a piss can, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So, but that's what I used to sing along to when he came on in the car. Going after face, you're addicted to love. Love, fuck off, man. It's addicted to drugs, so I'll change the lyrics and I'll make a right fucking 2 tribes of that, a debauchery cover. It would have done very well actually, but it wasn't to be. But some of the songs are on there. I mean, Sick Boy by G, which is about 300 times faster than the actual GPH version, and it's just absolute glorious racket. And then you've got, like I say, it just twists and turns right through the whole album. But it's a must for any Warfare fan. Well, a Pete Weir fan, Fast Eddie Clarke. It was probably the last Fast Eddie Clarke guitar as well before his untimely death.
Yeah, so that's worth it alone. I mean, not to have you, but to have you playing with like Pete and Fast Eddie and Len, they're all gone now. Over the last few years, we've lost every single one of them. And like you said before, with Pete Way and Fast Eddie, the two of them formed Fastway, but nothing really ever came out of it with the two of them playing together. So, I mean, having them both on that song, it's pretty impressive.
It is impressive because they did rehearse together when they were going to form Fastway. Believe it or not, with Topper Headon from The Clash on the drums. That was the first drummer. He left due to his unfortunate heroin problems, and then Pete Weir was told by Chrysalis he couldn't go ahead with the project. So they did rehearse, but they never actually put anything down on demo or anything. And then Fast Eddie took it to America and did amazingly well, didn't he? Yeah. And Pete Weir was persuaded to go back into UFO for a short while, and then he formed Wasted. So no, actually, didn't he? Went to play with Ozzy Osbourne first. He did World Tour with Ozzy Osbourne.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just, to be quite truthful, I was lying in the bath, and I was reading Pete Weir's book, The Most Dangerous Man in Rock and Roll, and I was enjoying it actually. And I came downstairs, my wife was sitting there. I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. That song that's half finished, that Fast Ed plays on, she says, yeah, I'm going to ask Pete Weir to do the bass on it for me. And she says, you'll never get Pete Weir to play it. You won't have even fucking heard of Warfare, it's rock royalty. I said, so is Fast Eddie Clarke. I said, so is Lemmy, but he produced my album, and I only just asked him. That's why he said yes. And I'm a strong believer. Belief is all. You don't ask, you don't get. So I got the telephone number from Fast Eddie's wife. I just phoned and beat on the end, and I big crack. I said, Zevo from Warfare, how you doing, man? What's happening? I haven't heard from Warfare for a long, long time, and they explained what I was doing. And I said, would you play a really raucous bass line for us? And he says, of course I would, yeah. So phoned the engineer up, and I said, Pete Weir's going to do it. He said, fucking hell, it'll sound great. And the first one he said, believe it or not, was a little bit too melodic. So I said, we'll keep that one. And I phoned him up and I said, and then can you do a one full on? I said, get get it really trebly like Lemon. He said, of course I will. So we mixed the two, so you got loads of bottom end, but you've still got that Thunderbird clank with it. And he phoned me up and he said, fucking hell, man. He used to drawl his words, proper southerner. He said that I had to play with the plectrum. Fuck me. He said, it's so fucking fast. He says, how would you play the drums like that? I says, fastly. with great speed. With great speed. And he thoroughly enjoyed doing it. He was really up for it. But he said it was costing him too much, though, because he had to have a wine while he was playing it. And I said to him, oh, do you like a glass of wine when you put the bass down? He says, a fucking bottle, man, not a fucking glass. A fucking bottle of wine every time we put a bass line down for me. I said, I'll send you a bottle of wine for doing it. He says, it's vintage 1945. I said, you can fuck off then. Excellent. But the man was, phoning me, are you sure it's alright? Are you sure it's alright? Are you happy with it? And yes, it's fine. It's fine. He says, I put that down, I listened to it and I put it down in one. And I said, yeah, it's fine. It's extremely good. So I don't know. I mean, it could be Fastway, really, with me singing and drumming on it. So I hope it goes gold like Fastway.
That would be great.
It would be.
You have all these amazing stories. I mean, 40 plus something years, more than that, in the music business. And I know finally you're going to put it all down to words and you're going to write a book. I think it's Warfare, Destiny, Dreams and Destruction, something like that you're going to call it. But I can't wait to read this. This is going to be some book because you have some stories to tell.
Oh man, I've done some. We have to make notes. Darren's we've got 3 chapters at the moment, but we're touching on everything. And I've got anecdotes from people, and I just don't remember being as fucking crazy as what I have been. Anecdotes from friends when I had one of my first cars and I tipped it over, nearly killing everybody. I got out just with a cut on my head, and I said, "Oh fuck, we'll have to get the bus to the pub now." I just left it there on its side, one of its back wheels spinning round. And I said to my mate, I didn't do that. He said, that was just fucking touching on the ridiculous. So I actually got a hearse to go and see The Damned. There was a guy who had a vintage hearse, and I said, can I lend it? And we took the coffin rails out, and I put all the local punk rockers in and charged them $5 a time. And I went to Wakefield, and Dave Vanian absolutely loved it, obviously. And I was saying how much I was into Hammer, but I hadn't even been in a band at that point, just local bands. And I got to play on Rat Scabies' drum kit. I got to do the sound check. I said again, I said I couldn't have a blast of your drums, could I? He said, yeah, if you want to. We're in the sound check, and I played Smash It Up with him, believe it or not. So I was only 16-year-old.
Wow.
16, maybe 16, 17. And I played this with The Damned, never even realising I'd get a record deal at that point in my career, or my life, or whatever. So, but that's some of the anecdotes are just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
No, I was going to say, you think back from that long ago and you remember, that kind of story when you were 16. I mean, but there must have been a million stories that you can't even recall or remember. You know they happened. You sort of remember where they were, but you just can't piece it all together, probably.
Yeah. I mean, some of them, even in Warfare, just ridiculous. Like, getting a porn model to strip off when we did Addicted to Drugs at the Marquee. And then she sprayed this white stuff, which was supposed to be whatever, and she sprayed it all over the crowd and took all her clothes off. It's fucking great. Absolutely wonderful. So, and it was all just mental, but it was gleefully mental, do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, like I say, some of my ideas, I mean, the infamous Hammersmith Odeon protest, that sold some records, but Jesus Christ, I didn't think it would be as violent and crazy as what it turned out to be, which resulted in me getting arrested, which wasn't that good, but the day was gleeful. Blood all over the place, smashed cars, bouncers chasing us, truck windows getting put out with crowbars. It was fucking great fun. It was great fun. So, such is rock and roll.
Absolutely. I mean, over the years, I mean, like you said, you never wanted to repeat yourself musically from album to album. You always wanted to just do whatever you felt like doing at the time, whatever the music may have been or whatever came out of you. But was there ever like a crossroads that you came upon and said, you know what, if I do go to make this record based on what I want to do right now, I might lose my fan base because they're looking for something else. Even the Hammer Horror was a little different. It was still Warfare, you know. I mean, it may have been a better solo record, but it was still Warfare. But was there ever like that crossroads that I can't go this far right now with the name Warfare because it just might alienate people? Or did you ever just say, fuck them, I'm going to do what I want to do because it's my music?
Well, yeah, up to a point, because you become, if you don't say, I mean, you know, I don't wish nothing on the fans because at the end of the day they're paying your mortgage for you, but you've got to keep yourself interested. So if they like it, they like it, and if they don't, well, it's tough shit, you know. You can't force people to play something. But it's something that I wanted to do, and it was a great challenge. You know, yet again, right through my life, people said, "Oh, you'll never do that. You'll never do that." And I go out of my way to say, "Fuck you," you know what I mean? Because I believe I'm a great believer. Even when I was a kid at school, I raised complete hell. I was a fucking lunatic, setting me class on fire and smashing 1,000 glasses. I got the cane more times than bloody Mary Milligan had sex. It was crazy, but I didn't need to learn anything. I was convinced that I was going to be in entertainment. That was it, and that's all I thought. That's all I focused on. So when someone on the boards go X times Y times Z, what the fuck's that about? I don't need that in life. You know.
Yeah.
So I just based everything around entertainment, which. It's fared me well all these years, apart from this year, this terrible virus, because I'm a bit stuck, because I've promoted bands, I've managed bands, I've played with bands, I've bought my own fairground, but everything is mass gatherings. Everything I've done in life, I've wanted to do, but it all revolves around mass gatherings, and there's just nothing happening, is there? So, and that's why, having said that, rock and roll is saving me, because I've done this Hammer record, and hopefully that'll sell quite a few copies. And it's keeping me busy as well, because I've been doing all the sleeve notes for the Songbook of Filth, and for the Hammer Horror record. So there's been a lot of memories gone into the Songbook of Filth, and each one I've gone through in great detail of where it was written, how it was written, for what reason it was written. So it'll be like, it is what the title suggests, Songbook of Filth. It's. I just thought it was quite a catchy title, but it's a proper songbook. You can sit with all the lyrics and read it, and blow your head off at the same time.
That's going to be an amazing album, a triple album, no less. It's going to be great to have that out. You know, 3 years ago, I mean, after like 2.5 decades, you put out your first new record. I mean, the Evo Warfare record, and I mean, a lot of people, I don't know if they knew what they were going to get from you or expect, but really, you kind of went back on your whole catalog with that record. I mean, it has a little bit of everything that you did the 30 years prior to it.
Yeah, I didn't catch the end bit of that. Sorry, it's a bad line.
I know, we got a bad connection. I was saying with the last record, you know, your first record in 25 years when the Evo Warfare record came out, I mean, that album kind of spanned, you know, the last 30 years of what you were doing musically. You can see stuff on there from every album and everything you've ever touched and been a part of. You know, people were expecting like maybe something completely different, something new, but you really went back old school on that record, but you know, it has that new vibe to it, but it really captures your whole career.
Yeah, because I think it's more relevant now as well. I'm probably more angry now than what I was back then, to be truthful, because there's a lot more in this crap world that you... Well...
Evo, can you hear me?
Can you hear me, mate?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it just went completely dead. I don't know what happened.
I think I ran out of money on my Skype account and they cut us off. I just made a quick payment.
Sorry. Get some more money put on you.
I did. I added more. I had a little bit more. That's all they would let me do right now. That was funny. But you were saying, you know, you're more angry now than you were back then, and that kind of came out in the last record.
Oh, absolutely. And even the newest stuff, the new song "Death by 1,000 Cuts" is it's very, very poignant. I mean, I wrote the lyrics when I was actually in America. I was in Los Angeles when I wrote the lyrics. And one of the lines is, "The planet still remains when the human spooky is that?
Yeah.
Because what we're witnessing at the moment, the human race may be gone.
Yeah, the way things are going now.
It could. Yeah, well, they're talking about it's germ warfare, aren't they? I don't know what the views are on that, but it's a good way of culling quite a few people, isn't it?
I could pick a few off the top of my head that I'm hoping to get the first, but you.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Oh, it's terrible. I mean, fuck me.
Yeah.
It's pestilence. It's what, sorry?
Yeah, no, it is terrible. Were you planning anything this year on the live front? Or was there anything that was actually planned this year that had to get postponed? Or I mean, because like nobody's doing anything right now, and I don't think it happened next year either.
I've not played live, but strangely enough, I keep getting asked to play live. And the more I get asked, the more I turn it down. The gigs are getting bigger. Oh no, you'll be top of the bill. And there's people in Germany. There's your friend wanted me to play live and headline that festival in New York, and I didn't want to at the time. So who knows? The more I think about it now, the more I'm quite tempted to, because I get to think things just happen, but we're not here for a long time, are we? Really?
No, not at all.
So, and the adrenaline, the kick you do get off of what I remember playing live is a fantastic buzz. You know what I mean? So, who knows? I didn't think I'd be writing new songs, so you just don't know, do you?
True. I mean, I guess bouncing around, the bars and the pubs and the clubs probably isn't what you want to do. But if the right offer came in, would it be something you would consider? I mean, you have to put a lineup together and go at it. But would it be something you would think about doing if the right offer came?
Yes, I think I would actually. Yeah. I mean, I've had quite a few nice offers at the moment. I don't mean financially. I mean the concept of it all. But it would have to be right. I'd want all the backdrop and the pyros and the whole shooting match would have to be right. Because if you're going to come back after all them years, you got to really kick their asses, and I wouldn't mind. I really would. It would be something. Possibly would do a one-off and do a DVD to accompany it. So, and there's the record company, the Cherry Red guys, are wanting us to do something as well, something that's a bit different, but I can't tell you about it at the moment. But they're really getting behind this Sonduga big style. And like I said, the guy who's doing Hammer Horror for us as well, he's when he heard it, he just thought it's just wonderful. And it was him that wanted me to release it, and I kept saying, no, I'm not bothered. And then, I revisited some of the stuff, and it is powerful. It's powerful stuff. So, what did you think? Did you get the bits and pieces that I sent you over?
Yeah, I've been going through them. I'm going to put them on with this interview and let people get a shot at hearing them. I mean, what a great job on them. I can't wait to hear, the whole package put together, because, I mean, it's just, the lyrics. I mean, Christopher Lee writing you a letter. I mean, right then and there, that's worth the price of, just to read that letter is worth it alone.
Oh, yeah, especially written in, handwritten.
Yeah.
With a proper old fountain pen, the old quill as I call it. It's handwritten and it's addressed to me, so you couldn't wish, especially being a fan of that genre, But yet again, you'll never get a letter. You might get a letter from Peter Cushing, but Christopher Lee is very standoffish. He won't write to you. And I just typed a little letter out on an old knackered typewriter. I remember doing it. And I sent it to him. 45 Duggan Place, I think it was. I don't know how I found his address out. That was a lot of Sherlock Holmes probably fishing about. And I thought, well, it might be his address, it might not be. But it came back. I mean, it took quite a few weeks, and a blue envelope arrived on the floor. I thought, I wonder what this is. All addressed to me, and I opened it up. Fucking hell. All folded out on lovely blue parchment as well. So, but instead of just typing that off into the Hammer record, we've scanned the original letters, so people can see them all handwritten. So, really pleased about that. And the song content as well. I touch on each film that I'm really into, but it's intertwined with voiceovers by Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee in the songs, and it also features the classical music that was written by the in-house songwriter, and sort of vamp up the rock sort of thing over his classical pieces. And there's all the atmosphere on it, and there's even a small bit of poetry on it about my visit to Whitby, where Bram Stoker wrote the book. And I went there for a full fortnight to write Prince of Darkness, just to soak it all in. And I used to sit just up in St Mary's graveyard and just look out at the sea. And I just used to sit until I got what I was looking for. And when I listen to it now, it's really powerful. And tagged in at the end is his speech out of the Satanic Rites of Dracula, where he says, the apocalypse, the four horsemen, you, Van Helsing, are now one of the four. Absolutely brilliant. Camp it up, that's what I said. So, they still stand up today, you know, when you watch them.
Oh, absolutely. That's why they're classic movies. You know, you can play them over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, that one from 1962, The Phantom of the Opera. I mean, never mind your bloody Android Lloyd Webber, not Android Lloyd Webber. You can shove that one right up his cars, you know what I mean, when you see the 1962 version. Right up the Jaxie, man, right up. So, yeah, Android Lloyd Webber. That just came to me now. That was quite good, though. The history and myth of Android Lloyd Webber. Excellent. Most excellent. So, yeah, so it's all good. Hammer 1's out now for your delightful pleasure. And we've got the Songbook of Filth in March coming along. And then I've wrote a new song, which hasn't even been put down in the studio yet, which is quite horrible, really. I've been doing the bass line in the garage. I've got a drum kit in there, and I've got a Marshall amp with a stack, and I've been hammering my old Fender Precision. It's got no volume pot. It's got one pickup, and I play with a 50-pence piece. I just fucking it's a good job I live in a detached house, but you'll still be able to hear it 3 blocks away. Yeah. So, but fuck them as well.
There you go.
If it's too loud, you're too old, aren't you? Fuck them. So
I
like it loud, so if they're done, they shouldn't be so normal. So, anyway, they all go to work and I stay in during the day because I'm a hermit. Thus the song Misanthropy. I don't really like people very much.
I know how you feel, and this is a world of people that really most people don't want to like anyway, so that's okay.
But no, because 3/4 of them are stupid. I can't be done with any of them. So I don't go to supermarkets. My wife does that for me. I think my highlight of the week is actually going to the chemist prescription.
Boy, things have changed over the last 40 years, huh?
Yeah, it's fucking rock and roll for you, isn't it? Yeah, I'm on. I've got to give you a funny one before I go. I had to go for a COVID test, and me being me, the nurse sat me down and I said, "Oh God, I don't like hospitals." She said, "There's nothing to it." She says, "I've had it done before." I said, "Have you?" She says, "All you got to do, all I did was put it in my mouth to the back of my tonsils," and I looked at her and I said, "You did what?" I said, "Listen, love, I don't want a blowjob. I've just come to fucking get me COVID done." I said, you put it in your mouth to the back of your tonsils." I said, "Well," I said, "I'm quite happy to have a blowjob as opposed to a COVID test. I'm not going to refuse." And honest to God, mate, she couldn't. She was pissing herself. And she said, "You know what? You're the best patient I've had in the last 10 years. You've made me laugh so much." So, and that's what it's about. If you can keep your sense of humour, you know, you've cracked it.
Absolutely.
You've got to keep your sense of humour. So, and even though I'm not making any money, it's I've still got to keep my sense of humour.
That's the hard part.
I'm thinking of making. It's all right writing new songs. I'm thinking of making one of them adverts. You know, every time you put the TV on, you give £5 for the chimps. Yeah. Give £5. Give £5 for the elephants. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I'm gonna make one up. This is Evo, a poor musician. He's been struck down with this horrible virus. Just give him £5 a month. That's all I want, just a mere £5 a month, and that'll put me right. So, tell you what I was going to touch on while I'm talking to you as well. I did did a raffle last year. I don't know whether you saw it on Facebook. The first 4 albums, and I autographed them to feed 65 people at Christmas, the homeless. They got a dinner each, and a girl from New York actually bought them, and she bought them for $280, and she donated that straight to the homeless people across Newcastle, the food centre. So I think I'll do something at Christmas like that, actually. I may well autograph one of my guitars.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
So it would be nice, yeah. Because it's no good when you see them in doorways. I mean, yeah, some people say they're professional, but there's a hell of a lot of them aren't. And it slightly gets on my wires when you've got the likes of, across in this country, we had a guy who walked around his house 100 times. He's 99-year-old, and he rose.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, which I tell you what was admirable, but you know what really pisses me off? Where's the Queen at? Our glorious Queen. She's got 380 million, Mike, in the bank, right?
Yeah.
She's 96. Why the fuck did she not walk around Buckingham Palace? And give 300 million to the NHS. What's she going to spend it on?
You're right.
She's 96, for fuck's sake. Yeah, she's not going to go and buy a fucking packet of coke at her age, is she?
Absolutely. Well, you know, it's expensive to live in Los Angeles today, so she's got to help her grandson out.
yeah. It's incredible, you know, the royal family. You say knits our country together. Jesus Christ, they murdered Diana, so you've got a murderess, and then you've got Prince Charles. He was shagging a 16-year-old, barely a virgin, in Princess Diana, while still having an affair with Camilla. So he's an adulteress, and as for Andrew, well, yeah, I rest my fucking case. I'd hang them all at Traitors Gate, the fucking lot of them.
It sounds like there's a song in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah, it's called Burnt Out. That's good on a songbook of Filth as well. It's a rewritten version of Burnt Out, so that'll blast your lungs out. So, I hate everything. I hate royalty. Well, I don't know. Do you think I hate royalty by what I've just said?
It sounds like it a little bit, like you're not crazy about them, yeah?
Yeah. And fucking religion, don't get me on about them. And as for politicians, you know, I'd gleefully form a firing squad. I'd love to have like 5 fans just join us with machine guns.
Yep.
And you could just pick all these arseholes out of power, couldn't you? I mean, I don't like to go political, but what about that fucking nutcase we've got running this country? He can't even comb his hair.
Oh, we got the same thing over here, so they're like brothers.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, the funny thing is, my wife says, "Well, you don't comb your hair." I said, "Yeah, but I'm a fucking punk rocker. I'm not the head of a country." And even if I was, I still wouldn't comb my hair.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Too much.
Well,
listen, my friend, I'm going to have to let you go because I'm running out of money again. I see the sign flashing on here. It's expensive to call the UK.
You tight American bastard. It's fucking incredible, isn't it?
I'm going to have to petition my government for more money.
Yes, you get some more money. Yeah. Give £5 a month to Mike.
That's it, so I can keep this conversation going.
Yeah. So everybody out there, get yourself a copy of this Hammer Horror record and get your pocket money saved up for the songbook of Filth, because it's going to rip your fucking eyeballs out, and you deserve it. So,
absolutely, my friend. And we'll do this again when the book comes out.
Oh yeah. That's going to be a copy and a half, I can tell you.
That should be a good one. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Hammer Horror, like always, it's great to see it out again, Evo. I mean, you did an amazing job on this one. People are going to love it when they hear it.
Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it.
My pleasure, my friend. Listen, you stay safe out there, and hopefully things will get back to normal soon.
Yep, lovely. Can you do us a favour just off the record? Can you just send me a link to this and I can blast it on my Facebook?
Absolutely. I'll have it up and running in about an hour. I'll send it to you by then.
Lovely. Cheers, Mike.
You got it, my friend.
You take care and look to all your family as well, man.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye, Evo.
Yeah, all the best. Bye-bye. Bye.
Here lies Captain Clegg.
waiting for you.